what's up, everybody? Welcome to The Stack. I'm Alex.
I'm Justin.
I am Pete.
And we have 3 Newsarama sneak reviews for you guys today. Robin, number 174, Dead She Said, number 1, and 1985, number 1. So let's get right into them. Starting with Robin, number 174. Spoiler, you guys. The spoiler is the spoiler.
Wow.
You like
Man,
that one?
It's a comic fan's dream.
I'm excited for you to tell us why this comic was good.
I'm a huge fan of the character, the spoiler. It's great to have this character back in action, and it's the mystery is there.
I've always been a bigger fan of Red Band trailer. I thought that was a really, really good trailer. No? That one's for the
completely disagree with you. I think spoiler is kind of like a lame character just because it's just a weird outfit with the hood, and I don't think it's drawn well in this comic.
Yeah, her costume maybe not great, but I love the fact that it's like a girlfriend for Robin,
You
and
knew
they
it
fight
was
crime
going to be
together.
Steph because she was
all
like,
right, let's
she's
actually
not
specifically
Steph.
talk about this. The idea here, actual spoiler, is Stephanie Brown, who died during the, oh my god, what was it, War Games crossover in
right.
Batman. She was the whole cause of it. She was tortured, she was beaten, killed. Every single con since then, people have been like, why isn't there a memorial in the Batcave for Stephanie Brown? Turns out, they faked her death, and she is back, and she's totally fine. And they even get a line in there like, and that's why there's no memorial in the Batcave.
So cheesy. Also, I thought it was stupid that Batman was like, I knew she was alive the whole time. It's like, come on, like it's
well,
ridiculous.
Here's my question: do you think they really planned it, or were they like, we got to do something?
They definitely did not plan it. Like the fan reaction was so big for this that they've now brought the character back, saying like, oh wow, maybe people do like her.
I didn't like the way they did.
Maybe people would be interested in a strong female character in comic
Yeah,
books.
I know.
That's so weird.
That's a statement from the Stack.
In any case, I was totally fine with it. I don't usually pick up Robin. I thought it was pretty new reader friendly, and I'm curious to see where they're going.
It's funny because they picked right back up with the spoiler from back when she was first introduced, so like nothing's changed.
Yeah.
All the Robin stuff, her dying is only...
Spoiler, nothing changes in comics. All right, let's move on to Dead She Said, number 1 by Steve Niles.
Yeah.
Pete, you like this one a lot, right?
Really great. Crazy book. Spoil it for you. All of a sudden he's like, oh man, I feel like crap. And he's like dead. He's got his guts everywhere.
It's a very noir book. You have the detective narration. Guy wakes up, he's like, I don't know where I am.
I had a rough night last night.
Rough night. Must be Tuesday. It turns out his guts are literally spitting out of his front and back. So he has to tape himself up. There's a lot
It's
going
gross.
on. Yeah, it's totally gross. It's very graphic. It's very pulpy.
Yep.
There's probably
Like
some
orange
sort
juice.
of, like the genre of pulp.
Oh, yeah.
Like a pulp.
Oh, I thought you were talking about orange
The
juice.
orange juice genre.
Yeah. I know,
There's
it's great.
there were a lot of novels back in the day. They were very popular.
Great.
dime
This is
novels.
a great Grove Stand book. Like it really gets into it.
Man.
Real fresh
There
from the
may
farm.
be killer giant ants in there. I don't want to spoil anything too much, but there may be killer giant ants. I felt like this issue was a little all over the place, honestly. There was some fun stuff in it, but
I don't think it
know
was so
you're not-
all over the place that it was confusing. Like it was a good first issue where it gave you some tastes.
Really? Because they give you the Noiri guy with his guts spilling out.
Yeah.
He's like, I guess I'm dead, and I have to figure out who's dead. And then they're like, the woods. And then something happens with some ads. So they're like, 20 minutes later.
They definitely juxtapose two very different things happening here. Also, I think it's funny, the guy's like, oh man, better solve this crime. I'm dead. And there's no explanation of why he's able to walk around
Which
and
I
live.
understand it's very much a pulp trope. It's stuff that they do there. I don't think it necessarily works as a first issue is my problem.
I
feel
could
like we've talked about
understand that a
lot,
little bit. I
where
definitely could.
It's not a done one story by any means.
But I very much enjoyed it. It was kind of crazy.
I think they're trying to hook readers, is what they're doing.
I don't
You know
know
what I
why
mean?
you would want to do that with the first issue. Speaking of hooking readers with a first issue, let's talk about the long-awaited 1985 by Mark Millar. In case you guys don't know the background, this was originally produced or supposed to be produced in a style that I'm completely blanking on the name of, but essentially taking photographs and then turning them into
Photorealistic.
as a Japanese name is like famuku or something like that. Taking photographs and putting it together in a comic book form with thought bubbles and speech bubbles and everything. Turns out that was costing millions of dollars, so they scrapped that and went for the art instead.
Yeah.
So the idea is a kid in the real world, in our world in 1985, suddenly finds that Marvel Comics characters of the time are breaking through into the real world. So a lot of anticipation for this book. What'd you guys think?
I liked it a lot. I thought the art was fantastic. I much prefer this to some photo project. I mean, that seems so scrapbooky to be like.
Wow,
what you
that's
do
a
when
weird
making scrapbook?
scrapbook that you make.
It's a great scrapbook.
I'm out
It's
fun.
really very
Have you ever taken a scrapbooking class? It's
Take a
fantastic.
but no scrapbook.
Oh,
I
man,
take
jump
real
in.
classes like philosophy and mathematics.
Oh.
I would
Math.
say
You
I
take
wish they had been able to go with the original plan, frankly, because I do like the art. I think it's totally fine, but because it is actual comic book art rather than the photos, I think it strikes me as a million other stories where it's the real world and comic books are breaking through, and it reads it almost defeats the point for me in a way. This is supposed to be the real world. This is comic book characters breaking into the real world. It doesn't create any sort of difference by then having it be, well, we're seeing Doctor Doom, but he's in comic book art this time.
Right.
You know, there's no juxtaposition going on.
Well, they could have done that by doing like two very different styles of art, which they obviously did not do either. So
But I feel like I was a little kind of sidetracked by the whole talking about comics in the comics and making comics real. Like the whole part where he was in the comic book shop and talking about Secret Wars and talking about how expensive comics are and continuity. And then when they went to the haunted house and all those comic books, he was like, well, you should take that to a store where you can get the proper price. That's the right thing to do.
I know,
was
it's
like,
definitely,
what?
this is for a very specific type of
Yes,
fan.
it's very.
Yeah.
I thought that all being said about how I wish it was, as it is, I think it's very well put together. And it's
Yeah,
a
it's
really,
very
really good
enjoyable.
first issue.
Little
And
in-jokey.
last page was awesome.
I think it's better than, say, Kick-Ass, which is kind of a similar kind of idea. I think this is a better idea.
It's very pure. It's very honest. It's very much, wow, this is the joy of Marvel characters as you come at it when you are a young teenage kid, which I think is great.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a great read. Check it
Yeah,
out.
definitely pick it up. All right, after the break, we're going to have a speed round and viewer mail, so stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to the
welcome
stack.
back.
We are very
Oh,
excited to have you
man.
back. That's even very sincere. Let's get right into the speed round with our friend Pete the Page. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, sir.
Damned number 2. Yes. First issue was really good. Second issue really gives you, you really get an idea of the two brothers and they're fighting against evil, I guess is the way to put it. But it's really funny, very well done, and black and white. I'm right on this
That
one.
was a very metaphorical way of putting it.
Did you end your review with "I'm right" on this one?
Well, yeah, because before I was like, it's black and white, and it wasn't. I'm
Oh, I thought you
felt
meant
bad
like,
about that.
here's my review. I'm correct. Don't even dispute it. Fantastic Four number 557, ending the first arc by the Titanic team here. Tough first arc. I am not on board with it. Hopefully they're going to move forward and on a better foot.
Birds of Prey 118. As much as I like this issue, showing Misfit and Black Alice trapped in the Dark Side Club, there are so many things wrong about what DC is doing with this Dark Side Club. I really want it to pan out, but the idea that, hey, well, Darkseid and Granny Goodness and everybody are dead, but now they come back more evil, so they're black, you see.
Oh.
It's really, really, really uncomfortable, and I really wish they hadn't done that.
Brothers in Arm number 1. This is really well done kind of army story, war story. I'm not that big of a fan of war stories. I feel like they're done a lot, but this is great. I was completely shocked at how well it's done. Great art.
Amazing Spider-Man number 560. I have been enjoying this title, and I would say this is the best issue so far. Dan Slott is knocking it out of the park.
And it should be mentioned, the art is fantastic.
Oh man,
it's
Marcos
beautifully
Martin
done.
Arts is incredible.
Yeah.
Great package.
Worth-
Really
Hey,
well
how
done.
about that villain? Oh, that was
Yeah,
well
I thought
done.
the villain was great.
Villain was so
I
cool.
love that they're introducing new, cool, interesting, unique villains. I agree with you, Pete. Let's move on to the viewer question. Imaginary
Alex.
Dave asks on the forum,
Dave!
Many comics are making successful transitions to the big screen, but what films do you think would make good comics?
Well, I would say one that
Interesting.
makes the most sense as kind of a setup to be a comic would be on
Spider-Man.
That's
I would
a
like
great,
to see those Spider-Man films become comic books. I think that would be really cool.
Oh yeah. That's a
What were you gonna say?
great call.
You mean
That's-
Spider-Man 3, you want to see more singing in the comic book.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome. More musical. You know, they could do that greeting card technology where you open it up and it's like,
How about Unbreakable?
Technology?
Huh? Hey guys.
The cutting edge.
Hey, let's get to the question. Unbreakable.
Unbreakable is a good.
That's a
answer
very
for
good
this.
answer.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
I'm
stand by
right.
my Spider-Man statement because I think that's
That's
right
just
as well.
silly. What's your real answer?
What's my real answer? My real answer is actually probably a TV show, not a movie. I would love to see Dexter turned into a comic book because if you look at it, it's almost a superhero book as it is.
a superhero?
Superhero.
Okay.
Oh, yes, please, Pete, criticize me for not being able to talk. It's almost a superhero book. The way he can detect blood patterns and solve crimes that way, I think it's great.
We should put ourselves into a comic book
that
where
would
like
be
a
crappy
Titanic
comic book.
How about Jake and the Fat Man? That'd be a great comic book. Am I right?
Yes.
Because he sits at home and is like solving crimes, and Jake is out on the streets.
What's
Joe
your
Penny.
actual answer?
Huh? That's my answer.
Oh.
Oh.
That's a good answer.
Good answer. No.
I'm right. Oh.
Yeah.
We were playing you the entire time. Pete and I were pretending to fight so you would say a stupid answer. I don't know. It was a bad con. All right. What do you guys think? What movies should be turned into comic books? Do you agree with me, Spider-Man, or do you agree with Pete, something else? If you have a question,
Notebook.
call us.
I believe we all know it's
No,
the
the
Notebook.
Lake House has some science fiction
I
to
would
it,
like
which
to
would make it great.
Remains of the Day. I think that would be a really good
wow.
one. Give us a call at
We're really in touch with our
888-841-7549 or write into tips@pulpsecret.com, and you can comment right here below. And if you're ever in New York City, come visit us every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. at our live show, Comic Book Club. You can find all the details on pulpsecret.com. We will see you guys next time.